Let's see if we got audio. Little technical difficulties. Almost. Hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear. Sack Life Beat Depression is day 796, and we're back with another fix of somatic healing session to wipe out depression. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here now. Anyone who's tuning in later, appreciate you guys and girls out there. Shout out to Claire, coming in all the way from Canada, tuning in, fighting forwards, making progress every single day. Please do let me know if you can hear my voice, because I was having a couple technical difficulties and just got this thing set up. Hopefully it's coming through. Shout out as well to Brett McLeod and to Lisa the Luminary and to Jen. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in and supporting the cause. And if you're sticking with us, thank you for being here and supporting one another in that way. And if you're not sticking with us, if you're just stopping by to say hello, that's cool too. It's very good to see that positive social support, and I appreciate that moment of time that you're lending to us and to our cause to support one another. And hi, Brace, checking in on comments. Claire said, Luca cannot do the hiya, he's in trouble. But Sean, Sean can do that. Cool. Well, we've got a new person out there tuning in. Sean, hello, Sean. Thanks for joining. And I hope that Luca gets out of trouble soon, and he can get back to his daily stress relief session. Also want to shout out to Simon Amaze. Thank you for being here and for spreading some positivity. He said, hey, everybody, have a wonderful day. And Pedro Carvello and Brett gave me that feedback I needed. Hear you loud and clear. Thank you so much, Brett. Appreciate you. All right, so today we are going to get into more of that push knee we talked about yesterday. We used that push knee technique in a low intensity situation. Now we're going to put it into our combo during our higher intensity training, and you'll see how you can make effective use of that. And we might use it from the opposite side as well. Today is a Thursday, if I'm correct, and that means we're back on our regular schedule. So it will be 3 rounds, 3 minutes each, and 1 minute breaks in between to catch your breath and drink some water. And checking in on comments, Pedro says he's Brazilian, throwing that Brazilian flag up there. Love Brazil. Went twice, loved it. Amazing place to be. Such a beautiful country. So if you can get a chance to visit Brazil, I highly recommend it. I'd like to go back someday. Thank you for tuning in all the way from overseas. And checking on comments. That is it. Looking good. So today, like I said, we're going to be talking about that push knee again, and we're going to work it into a couple of combos, working those fundamentals, but we're also going to talk about a hook, rear elbow strike, and then working that push knee in there. We'll work on it from both southpaw and orthodox, so we can give ourselves different options when we are sparring or we're training with that Beat Depression dummy, Bob. Or even if you're just using that visualized target, right, for shadow boxing and improving your accuracy, improving your technique, you can still do that. You don't actually need any equipment. You don't need anything but the space in front of you to stand up and fight forwards. So, getting back on track, as you guys know, it's a martial arts for mental health show, and we start every show with that powerful tool of gratitude. My gratitude going out to everybody out there for supporting the cause. Everybody tuned in now, anyone who's tuning in later. And Pedro says, I like your lives. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm doing what I can out here to share the tools that help save my life with others, and hopefully can have a positive impact in their lives as well. Reports have been good so far. A lot of people making a lot of progress out there, overcoming PTSD, overcoming suicidal ideation, overcoming all kinds of different things, addictions and things like that. So it's really powerful what we can do for each other when we share our own self-care system. So I am grateful for all of you and for anybody out there helping spread that message and spread those tools and spread those things that work for them, because there are hundreds of ways that we can help ourselves move forwards towards better mental health. We just have to find the ones that work for us as individuals. So gratitude tool is one of them. That was my gratitude section today. Go ahead and think about something you're grateful for. That'll help put you in a positive mindset. The more you use that tool, the more powerful it becomes, and the easier it is to find those silver linings in life. Second mental health tool we're going to talk about is progress tracking. It's been 700 796 days of consecutive training for me, the Sack Man. Let me know how many days it's been for you. And really what this number is, it doesn't have to be this class. It's just your daily goal accomplishment. But if you make that daily goal something that builds you up both mentally and physically, then you can compound that effect. You can make that effect even more powerful of this progress tracking tool. Linking it together with your self-care routine can show you how powerful you are to overcome those debilitating effects of depression or anxiety. And also, it gives you a metric. It gives you something real in the real world, especially if you put it on a sign like this. When you're going through a blue period, you're having a bad day, or you're going through a rough patch, you can look at that number and remind yourself of your strength, of your endurance based on fact, right? Because those feelings that we get from depression or anxiety, they're temporary, and they're just feelings, and they don't define us. What defines us is us. We define ourselves, and this is how I choose to define myself, by keeping track of my progress, valuing myself, valuing my time, and showing myself first how much I can do for me, how much I can build myself up, and how powerful I am to overcome those effects of depression. So this can work the same way for you guys and girls out there. If you're keeping track of your daily goal accomplishment, especially if it's either this program or a martial arts training routine or heavy bag time, maybe you set a goal of heavy bag time, 5 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day, something accomplishable. Keeping track of that will have a compounding effect to build more self-esteem, self-validation. And those are things that depression and anxiety cannot take away from us. So please do keep track of that number. Share it with others to help inspire them to make progress as well. Speaking of which, shout out to Slayer Ken for your consistency. And let us know how many days it's been for you. I know you're way up there. And Brett just shared his day, making progress and having fun. That's what it's all about. Gotta keep it interesting, keep it diverse, have fun, enjoy the process, and make that process the goal. That's what it's about, right? Even if you only make it through 1 minute today, that's 1 minute ahead of where you were before. That's one step forward. So we want to keep track of that progress. And Brett said he is coming in today at 101 days. Congratulations, brother, on your consistency and dedication. And Ken is coming in at 404 days, over a year of progress and success. Congrats, Ken. Thank you guys both for sharing. And Claire said Sean's at day 1, and I am at day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Thanks, Claire. Start writing it down. Keep track of it somewhere. I know you've been here more than 10 days. You're a fighter out there. You're fighting forwards every day, inspiring others to fight forwards as well in their own ways, where they can, right, within their circumstances. And thank you for being here and being an inspiration to our team and our support system out here. Luca's on day 11, apparently. Good to hear. Yeah, so keep track of that progress. Give yourself credit for it. Share it with others. That way we can be that change that we want to see in the world. And if we help others, we improve our environment by default, right? You give yourself a better space to live in. You live around people who are happy, healthy, successful, moving forwards. It's going to improve your mindset. It's going to help you be happy, healthy, and continue to move forward. So please do share your progress. That is the gratitude tool, the number tool. Now let's get into the lesson. We're going to keep it mental health focused by visualizing that target, that physical form of a dummy in front of us. That will improve our accuracy and our technique, and we're going to assign that dummy the name of the thing we want to work on. If it's depression or anxiety, make it that depression dummy or that anxiety dummy. And that way we can consciously acknowledge what we do every single day when we move forwards, which is overcome that debilitation associated with depression or anxiety, right? It shows us how strong we are. So assign that name to that depression dummy. Let me just close this door. Bam. All right, and we're going to square up with it. We're going to work from Muay Thai stance. If you're not familiar with the stance, we do have stance guides available on sacklifeofficial.com down at the bottom of the Martial Arts for Mental Health class page. And remember also that we want to push ourselves to give ourselves a challenge every day and meet our skill level, right? We want to adjust that challenge depending on our skill level. As your skill level goes up, you want to increase that challenge. That way you can continue to grow and continue to give yourself room to grow. We don't want to push too hard because then we'll need a day off. And our goal is active recovery, no days off, right? So if we train smart and we give ourselves good, accomplishable goals each day, tuning into how we feel today and pushing to that intensity level with challenge in mind, then we can continue that progress training and it will only build up into more and more self-confidence, self-esteem, self-validation. And Claire said I close my eyes and pretend it's a person. That's fine. Yeah, a person named Depression Dummy. That's fine. We don't want to punch real people, right? That's not the goal of this, is not to go out and punch people. But we can punch Bob. We can punch the bag. The goal is to get that physical release of anxiety, stress, frustration, and relieve ourselves of those mild to moderate symptoms of depression or anxiety. So we want to visualize that opponent, square up with them in your Muay Thai stance, and we're going to go over today's combos. We're going to start it like any good combo with a nice jab, little small step on the front foot, tossing that lead hand out there, rotation in the shoulders, rotation in the hips. But you don't have to rotate so much on the ball of the foot for the jab. We rotate on the ball of the foot for the cross, but the jab is a little bit more of a step forwards, right? Small step forwards, twisting through the shoulders and hips, sending that fist straight forwards, and visualize making contact with that depression dummy. Starting with the jab, we're going to follow it up with a rear elbow strike. And as we turn forwards on that rear foot, we're allowing that rear foot to slide forwards, right? Small step in, slide forwards for that rear elbow strike. From there, we're going to toss that lead hand that was the jab. We're going to toss it up into the body cast and rotate back, bang, into a hook. Now we'll go slow. We'll build this up as we go. We're going to rotate into a hook. And then from here, this is where we can bring that knee up, right? Because we're shifting that weight back. We can bring that knee up and drive it forwards for a nice push knee there. You could also go from the hook into a rear push knee if you'd like, if you have the space, depending on the situation that you're in with your sparring partner or with the bag. If you're working with the bag, you work with that swing, right? And adjust to that distance, moving with it. If you're working with Bob, he's a stationary object, but he's still going to move back a bit. So we can practice on Bob stepping into the jab, roll through for the elbow, roll back for the hook, and then bring that knee straight up and drive it forwards. Now, it's only going to be a couple inches if you're using that lead knee, but that's all it takes. When we push that power through like we practiced yesterday, elbow, hook, and then boom, push through the hips with that knee, driving that knee forwards. Even in just a couple of inches, we can toss that opponent way off their balance and way out of their comfort zone. Sean said I can do chemo dummy. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Claire. Inspiring out there, fighting forward through chemo. If that's the thing that you want to overcome, right? Overcome that fear associated with it and show yourself you can fight forwards. You can overcome anything that's trying to slow you down. You can assign that word chemo to that dummy. Make it the chemo dummy. We're going to knock out anything that chemo is trying to hold you back from doing, any kind of fear associated with it. Shout out as well to Dr. Sarah Scrivino. Thank you for joining. Appreciate that support. Now, let's get back on track with the lesson. Like I said before, we're going to have 3 rounds, 3 minutes each, 1 minute breaks to catch your breath and drink some water. Make sure that you do have water and you're staying hydrated out there. Breathing in the nose and out of the mouth, and constantly checking in to make sure that you're not overdoing it. The signs of overreaching are nauseousness in the stomach, lightheadedness, or spots in the vision, but you know yourself better than anyone else, so you may have different signs of overreaching. But in general, those are things we want to try and avoid, because if we do push too hard, not only will we need a day off, but we can wind up with more anxiety and more depression. So we want to make sure we give ourselves a challenge, meet ourselves where we're at, and give ourselves a challenge based on our current situation. Shout out to Soul Traveler. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. World's largest fork forever. It's good to see your icon out here. All right, we're just getting into it. We talked about our gratitude, talked about the number tool, talked about the lesson. Let's do it. 3 rounds, 3 minutes each, 1 minute breaks to catch your breath. Drink some water. We'll get some fighting spirit from the 80s coming through our retro boombox. You ready? Let's do it. Let's fight forward together. Square up with that target. Remember, square the hips and shoulders after each combo when you're getting into your Muay Thai stance. You want to stay nice and balanced, head in the center of that balance, feet evenly spaced apart, knees slightly bent, heels slightly raised. We're keeping the weight on the balls of the feet, which keeps us nice and light And we want to start working on that Muay Thai march, shifting our weight from the front foot to the back foot and just taking these small steps forwards and backwards, working on that distance and range control. When we're in range for that depression dummy, let's do it. Let's get into the first round. We're going to start with the jab, small step forwards on that lead foot and twist the fist over, bump, extending through the shoulders and hips into the jab right in the face of that dummy, and then square back up. Keep it moving. Step into range and small step on the front foot. Boom, twisting through shoulders and hips, driving those knuckles straight forwards. And remember, keep the thumb out of danger, tucked behind. Those top two fingers landing on those large two knuckles. Guard stays tight on the opposite side, tucking the chin into the shoulder. So many areas, rooms for improvement out here. Rotate back to stance and keep it moving. Let's go. We're going to add in the elbow strike next. So step in for the one, driving that jab forwards. And then we're going to take this rear hand, drop it into a pocket on the chest, and we're going to turn as we bring that rear foot forwards, twisting through into an elbow strike into the face of that depression dummy. Back to stance. Keep it moving. Keep that pace going. Step in for the one. Right there, we made contact. And we're going to rotate right into the two. It's going to be that rear elbow strike. Boom. Letting that rear foot come forwards and slide forwards as we rotate on the ball of foot. We're aiming to keep the torso upright. Keep that balance tight, chin tucked, torso upright. So when I step in for the one, I'm stepping forwards. I'm bringing my body forwards. I'm not leaning forwards, right? We don't want to lean into those punches. They turn into pushes, and those are not effective. So let's step forwards, toss the one, twisting through the shoulder, bring that shoulder up, tucking the chin, right? Head's defended from here. Take that rear hand, drop it in to the pocket, and turn as you bring that rear foot forwards and stay in that balanced position. Really work the balance today. Step in for the one, right there, slide forwards for the two, and back to stance. Make sure your stance is wide enough that you don't lean over the sides of those feet and lose that balance. Back to stance, step in for the one, slide forwards for the two, and then back it out, back to square position. Squared hips and shoulders with that target. Visualize it and let's go. Let's start picking up the intensity. Pick up the pace a little bit, pick up the volume. Step in for the one, rotate for the two, and back to stance. Keep it square, visualize that target. And back in, square it up. And back, keep it moving. You can work horizontal movement in there as well, lateral movement if you're more advanced. Remember, cater it to you, make it your own. Step in for the one, twist for the two, and back to stance. Keep the guard high. Step for the one, twist for two, and back to stance. Use that breath to add power to those strikes. Pop in and out of that pocket. Remember, the elbow strike is a close range attack, so we want to get that forward momentum and then get back out of that danger zone as quickly as possible. Staying nice and balanced. Step for the one, and back. And back, keep it going. And back. And back. And that is the end of round one. Catch your breath, drink some water. We're going to build on that combo as we go. The next step, we're going to add in that hook. And then we're going to finish it up with a nice push knee. Maybe work on a push knee from the opposite side as well. Whew, we got 43 seconds. Catch your breath, drink some water. Make sure you stay hydrated, super important. And again, we're practicing not so much to fight on the street or in the ring, though these moves are pressure testable moves. We're practicing mainly so that we have proper form and we can get a full release when we get to one of those somatic tools such as Bob or the heavy back, so we can get that full stress relief, really put the energy, that momentum, that anxious energy into the bag or into the Bob and take it off of our shoulders without injuring ourselves, right? That's what it's about. All right, pop back into stance. Square those hips, square those shoulders. Visualize that target. Keep your defense nice and tight. Step in for the one, that's the jab. Let that rear foot slide forwards as you turn through for the two. Again, we're not leaning, we're keeping the torso upright. Step in for the one, slide for the two. Let that body move forwards without the lean. Rotation is where we're getting our power from. From here, we're going to toss a lead hook. So to toss that lead hook, we're going to shift our body weight backwards. As we move backwards, Back in, keeping it balanced, keeping it nice and balanced, right? We're moving forwards with the elbow, we're gonna move backwards with the hook. That backwards momentum is actually gonna put more power into that hook, and we're using that sweet science, right? Those body mechanics. Let's put it into action. Step in for the one, twist in through, slide forwards for the elbow, and then rotate, bump, backwards for the hook. Then square up, back to stance. Let's keep it building. Step for the one, and then back to stance. Step forwards for the one, rotate and let the rear foot slide for the two. Turn as you shift that body weight back for the hook. Bring that fist right around. Always landing on those large two knuckles on your visualized target. Nice and square, right? Elbows locked at 90 at the point of impact. Wrist is nice and straight. Back to stance, square it up. Step for the 1, 2, 3, and back to stance. 1, 2, 3, and back to stance. Go at your pace, go at your volume. You can slow this down. Twist in, twist forwards, twist back. Boom, whole bunch of rotation there. Step forwards, twist through the hips and shoulders, rotate for the elbow, and then rotate as you shift your weight back onto that back foot for the lead hook. Back to stance, square up, keep the guard tight. Let's put it together and start picking up the pace. And back in. And back in. Work on that balance. Remember, it's about not leaning. Don't lean on that torso. Keep the torso nice and straight. Head on the center line. That'll make you more effective. And it'll make those punches effortless for you, but very damaging, very powerful on the bag or your opponent. Guard tight. Let's go. Step in for the one. Roll for the elbow. Slide back for the hook. And keep it moving. Keep that guard high the whole time. And ideally, you would toss that fist into position at the last possible second if you were in a sparring situation. But on the bag, it does not matter. You can throw that fist up out here and wind right through it for proper technique. Let's go. Step for the one, twist for two, rotate back for the hook, and square back up. Step for one, twist for two, rotate for the hook, and back. We're going to add in that knee in the final chapter. Boom, boom, boom. Keep it going. And that's the end of round two. Catch your breath. Drink some water. Check in on you. Make sure you're not overreaching. And if you're tight, give yourself a stretch. Maybe some arm circles. Stay loose. Keep that lactic acid out of those muscles. We got 44 seconds before we get into that final round where we will bring in that push kick for sure. We gotta get that push kick in before this thing's over. Yeah, we're gonna add that push kick right at the end of that whole combo. So we're gonna turn back with that hook, and then we're gonna bring that knee up and drive it forwards through the hip. Like we practiced yesterday. 21 seconds before that happens. Now we have lots of different options for the knees, and I think as we go forwards throughout the week, definitely tomorrow, we'll add in some different knee options, and we'll continue with this combo. So if you made it to today's class, come back tomorrow, and we'll continue to build on this combo, starting right from the beginning with that jab, elbow, hook, and then we'll explore different options from there for the knees. All right, here we go. 3 minutes up on the timer. Square up with that target. Visualize it, right? Get the guard tight, chin tucked, shoulders rolled, hips curled, knees bent. Weight on the balls of the feet. Keep the march going. And let's step in for that combo. Step for the one, rotate for the two, rotate backwards for the three, and now here, we're shifting our weight back towards that back foot. You can go flat-footed. A lot of people say flat-footed is a no-no, but sometimes it's good. It's good for leverage. It's good for support. So we're going to go flat-footed as we rotate back onto that rear foot. Then we're going to bring this knee up right from here at the point of impact. We're going to bring this knee up in and bring our hips in, and then we're going to drive that knee forwards into the center mass of that opponent. Notice it's the hips. It's all about the hips and shoulders working together to generate that torque. So let's talk about it again. Stepping into the combo, we're stepping in the one, we're rotating for the two, we're rotating back for the three, and then we're going to bring this knee up, right? Bring this knee up here and drive it forwards. Bump. Drive it straight forwards. Bring that ankle up close as you can to the booty. Make that knee nice and sharp. And using the hips, drive that hip forwards as the shoulders move back. That's our push knee. Back into it. Let's do it together. Visualize that target. Hit him with the one. Rotate for two. Hook. And right here, we're shifting back and we're driving that knee forwards. Now you notice I automatically kind of went into a long guard position. It just felt right. That's how that flow goes. And you're going to unlock those little things as you continue to make progress in your own practice, finding those things that link together and make it more effective and fluid as a fighter. Keep that chin tucked, guard high, and let's put the combo together. Step for the 1, rotate for 2, toss the hook. You can go long guard as you bring that knee up and drive that knee forwards through the hips, letting the shoulders go back as a counterbalance. Let's keep it moving. Step for the 1, rotate for 2, turn for the hook, knee up, and drive that knee forwards. Back to stance. Step for the 1, turn for the 2, rotate for the hook, bring the knee up, drive it forwards. Remember, keep that guard tight as you can on that opposite hand. And let's keep that combo flowing. Step for the 1, rotate for 2, turn for the hook. Nice push knee, back to stance. Step for the 1, turn for 2, rotate for the hook. And push knee, keep it moving. 1, 2, hook. Push knee, 1, 2, hook. Push knee, 1, 2, hook. Push knee. Now the other thing that I'm doing is I'm shifting my weight back after that hook, right? We've got that backwards momentum on the hook. I'm sending that weight to the rear foot, and I'm bringing those hips in and driving those hips back out. Boom, straight forwards into that opponent. Put it together. 1, 2, 3. Boom, 4. 1, 2, 3. 4, and that's the end of round 3. Hopefully you found lots of room to grow, lots of room for improvement out there. That's what it's all about, is making that progress and continuing to grow forwards and grow through what we go through. The reason why we put high intensity in there, why we pick up that intensity and increase that challenge, is to condition our minds and bodies to handle that stress hormone in a positive way, right? Because every day is going to bring challenges. Every day is going to bring stress. So in here, we take at least 10 minutes to handle those challenges, give ourselves a challenge, and teach our bodies, teach our minds, train our minds how to process that stress in a healthy, productive way. And the next time you're out in the world and you deal with a stressful situation and your body pumps cortisol, your brain's going to say, we do this every day. We're cool as a cucumber. It's all good. It's nothing to worry about. This is what progress feels like. And that way, you won't have to deal with panic. You'll be able to think clearly, make logical decisions, and you won't have to worry about, in the heat of the moment, running high on emotions or things like that. It's helped add a lot of control and power back into my life so that I can make much better decisions, and it's led me to a much happier state of mind. It's been 796 days of progress, getting closer to 800 every single day, and it's been 0 days of suicidal ideation and 0 days of debilitation over the past 796 days. That's what this number tool, that's what this progress tool and this routine has done for me, and that's why I'm here every day sharing my self-care with you in hopes that the people who need it will find it and be able to use it. So if you are finding things beneficial on this program, please do let other people know. Please do give me a shout out, tag some friends or something in the comments section. That way we can get the word out and empower people out there with free tools towards better mental health. This is the best I can do right now. I'm doing it every day. So thank you guys so much for supporting, and until next time, I'll catch you same exact time, same exact channel, same exact life. Zach Man out.